So now I'm going to explain the clutch roller gear here. Once again, let's just forget about everything else, just concentrate on it. It's splined onto the main shaft. It's not connected to anything else. Okay, so this should be the simplest one to deal with. Now inside it, it's got like triangle or wedged shapes instead of gear teeth. Okay, it's got wedge shaped, and on top of it goes these little cylinders, steel cylinders, like that, all around it. Right? Now, the engine on these cars, they turn clockwise. So as you're seeing it now, this is how they turn. They turn clockwise as if you're standing in front of the car, looking towards the back of the engine. Okay, so you're standing right in front of the car. You're looking at the front of the car. Okay. Okay, so this is clockwise. Now, the shape of these wedges here, when it's turning clockwise, it actually pushes those rollers. It pushes them out, which basically causes the whole thing to expand, and this grips the inside of the big output gear, okay, which is just a round circle. And it moves the entire car by this pressure alone, this pressure friction alone. So it really is truly a tremendous amount of compression that's going into these little bearings. They're getting crushed against the surface. They're being pushed out, and sideways at the same time. So it truly is remarkable. If your oil is too thin, then they'll just slide. I'll just give you a little demonstration of how they work. I did do it on the other video, but I'll just do it here once again. Just put a few of them. 2 of them. I think that's enough. I'll zoom in. Just pay attention to the top of those rollers. Actually, push this camera, hang on. So many fucking piece of shit. Just wait till the bastard decides to zoom in. Piece of shit. Okay. Pay attention to the top of those ring gears. Those roller gears. Rollers, just rollers. You can see that this metal cage here, I can't twist it anti-clockwise. Okay. Now, so therefore, if I'm turning the engine clockwise, you see, they're at their highest point. They're pretty high. Now imagine this inside a round circle like this. Now, in the event that you stop the car, you slow down the engine or you stop the engine, the wheels still keep turning, right? Okay, before we go into that, let's explain the difference between manual transmission and automatic transmission, what happens, okay? In the manual transmission, the engine is connected to the wheels of the car, okay? If the wheels of the car are turning, the engine is also turning. Now, if for whatever reason you let go of the accelerator, then, instead of the engine turning the car, it's basically the car turning the engine. I'll get more to that in just a bit. But right now, if it's going clockwise, then I can't do anything. push them in. So they're at their highest point. You can see if I press them, they won't go down. Now, the engine slows down, and just imagine this is the output gear here, output shaft. Right, it's going like this. Just imagine that I'm turning the car. Actually, I'm just temporarily moving. The car is going like this. You know, obviously this is moving this way. Now you step on the, you let go of the gas, or you step on the brakes. The engine now slows down. But this here, the output still keeps turning. Now what that does is it pushes. Remember, it's touching against these rollers here. They look like a reversed bearing, really. What happens is it starts pushing this way. Remember, it's going clockwise, but now the engine is stopped. Let's say the engine is idling, but the car is flying. Look, it pushes this cage, which causes the little rollers to go down. Look at that. See? So basically, what this is truly remarkable. If the engine is turning faster than the car, then the engine is forcing these rollers outward, which in turn, they expand against the walls of the output shaft and turn it. There's so much friction that they don't actually turn around themselves. They're actually forced against the wall. And you can see me demonstrating that on the other videos, okay? So, for now, the thing is, I'm using this, it's hard, I can't really show it to you inside. Ideally we'd have like something made of glass that you can see, but hopefully you understand what I'm talking about here. But at the point that the engine starts going slower than the car pushes this down, the output shaft pushes this, which in turn pushes these little rollers down, which in turn releases their pressure, which means, the car is no longer driving the engine. Okay? And so, what they basically did is, instead of just putting the overdrive in this transmission, they also made it semi-automatic. So, if you're driving, let me just back out now. I think that's enough. If you're driving a manual car and you let go of the gas, the car, you can feel it braking. Not braking as it's being stopped. Engine braking. That's called engine braking. Right? If you're in neutral, then the engine is just turning really slowly. Maybe it's just idling, but the car is going really fast. That's in neutral. This allows you to have that effect in whatever gear you are in, provided that these things that the pinion gauges, the planet gears, they don't turn. Right now, that's the next part now. Okay, so I think that's enough. Once again, the car is turning faster as fast as the engine is turning faster than the output shaft, and the rollers are forced outward, which in turn grip the output shaft and cause it to turn along with the main shaft. If the main shaft starts turning faster than the engine, for example, the engine is idling but the car is at 100 kilometers an hour, then it overruns these. If you're looking at it through the back here, let's just get a view of that through the back here for you guys. Yeah, why not? Okay. That's their highest point. Now, if I'm turning it like this right now, I'm pushing this counterclockwise, pushing this little cage counterclockwise, while I'm moving the main shaft clockwise. Okay, counterclockwise. No, sorry, The main shaft is turning clockwise relative to the front, relative to the back it's going this way, so it's going counterclockwise, and I'm pushing this clockwise. Okay, see, it won't move. These rollers at the top, you see they're pretty high. Now, if the car starts going faster, then the main shaft is turning slower, let's say like that, but this is turning much faster like this. So this is what happens. Look, I'm gonna actually move the main shaft slowly while moving these fast. Look, see? Once again, see that? Did you guys catch that? I wasn't looking at the camera. So once again, see, they sink in. The car is turning faster, then pushed outwards like that. Inwards, outwards, inwards, outwards, inwards, outwards, inwards, outwards. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay? So that's the freewheeling operation. Once again, if this was just spline, if it was just a manual transmission, then these splines here, they wouldn't be connected to the wheels. So you know, if the wheels are turning, you're automatically causing the main shaft to also turn, which turns the gears inside the transmission. Okay, gears inside are turning. This disconnects that. You know, it works in only one way. It only works if the engine is turning faster than the car. Okay, if the car is turning faster, then these disconnect. Okay, but there's slightly bit of an exception to that, and we'll get into that in the next video.